Okay, so now that we're done with that, I'm going to show you what I was going to show you.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm going to make myself the presenter. Um, unfortunately, it does require a little bit more knowledge than that does. But let's let's pick a page. Well, actually, what we're gonna this starts off with going over into the skin editor
Hmm.
and clicking on the template name to bring up your template choices and creating a new custom template by adding new. Okay, and I'm gonna just call this. Let's see. Yep, go ahead.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd call it test template or something.
I think I would use about us because that's how we're going to use it.
Okay.
And then I would click on this again and then come over to select the no sidebars template as the basis for it. So
Okay.
copy the template. Now it's going to be laid out exactly as the no sidebars template is,
Okay.
which means that you're going to have your content page and it'll have a post box in it. Um, you were talking about maybe putting an image below the headline.
Yeah.
So you'd take this one and you'd shoot the featured image below the headline, but you'll have a headline, a featured image, and some content. And then, and what I was suggesting from here is that you use the agility content grid box. And that's I'm sorry, agility content grid section. Now, all you have to do here is grab it, drop it in. We'll put it right below the content column. And then let's call it, I don't know, uh, team section. I'll call it team area. And I'm just going to give it um, the ID of team area. And that way we need to style it, we can do that. We're not going to remove the page wrapper. We're not going to move any typical padding. So we're just going to do that and then save it. Because this grid content box is not designed for you to open up and manipulate here. This grid
Okay.
content box is designed, you can place it, you can move it around here, but everything you do, you should actually do in skin content. And the, the reason for that is to get, my goal was to keep people out of the skin editor unless they needed to be there. And so I wanted to give them stuff that they could configure from inside of skin content relatively easily without requiring them to learn how to use a skin editor. So
Okay.
once we've done this, now we get a team area down here at the bottom. And if we open up team area, now we can choose the column layout. So we can choose 3 columns equally sized. And now we can choose what content goes in each column. So at this point, it's very much like laying out the front page of Agility, right? These are the same choices you have on the feature box area and the notice bar and the, um, all the main sections of the front page in Agility have the same kind of options. And that's how the front page was created. But what we'll do is we'll choose a widget area. And then we can do the same thing with column 2 and the same thing with column 3. And we don't need to I don't think we need a headline above all that. So we just have 3 widget areas. save the options, and now you can come over to appearance and widgets.
Now, let me ask you, Rick, before you go into that. By doing this, it doesn't mean that the whole page is going to be three columns. I can change it from one to three to,
No, it's the
four to six.
section below the one column section. So you've got a one column section up at the top
Yep.
with content
And
that's going
the
to
skin
fit the.
editor, right? That's where you have those you those yellow boxes in the skin editor show that, right?
Right,
Okay.
right. And we know it is because that's what we started from, which was the we started from the no sidebars template.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it is true. I guess I brushed over this, but it is true that when you're looking at this template, you want to know that, the header is these three pieces, the footer is these two pieces, the content is that piece, right? So all we're doing is we're taking this team area and we're adding it to the body above the footer and below the content.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So all of agility templates have, these three things at the top and these two things at the bottom.
Okay. These things are called boxes.
Well, yes, these are the header boxes and these are the footer boxes.
Okay.
And this is this is not a single box. This is a whole bunch of boxes, put together to create this. Unlike team area, which is a single box, top header, main header, top menu area, footer, bottom footer. Those are all single boxes that you manipulate in skin content.
Okay. Now, if you didn't want some of those, like if you just like it seems like in the header area, like there's an opportunity for that little skinny bar with the phone number, and then there's the main header with the big image in it, and
Yep.
then
And then the
you can
menu
do
area.
any of that you want, right?
You
Is that
can you
where you do it?
no, actually the okay, on a template by template basis, yes. But on a website by website basis, I mean, that is, if you want to do it across the whole site, you come over here to skin content and you look at these global settings and you can turn off the top bar here across your entire site. It doesn't move it out of the box, it just makes it, it just means that Thesis doesn't try to print it out.
What about on a page by page basis?
Okay, on a page by page basis, or in that case, template by template basis, you would drag it out of the template. So in this case, if you didn't want the top header bar on this page, you could just drag it out and drop it over here. You don't want to drag it into the pink because all the other templates are still using this. So you drop it into the pink and you delete it for everybody. But if you drop it over here in the gray, then it's not going to be in this template.
Okay, got it.
But it
Okay.
will stay in everybody else's template.
When you say everybody else's template,
All the rest of the templates here, home, single page, archive, no
okay,
sidebars, all of these templates still will have it as long as you
okay,
don't actually delete it, right? Putting it here
hmm,
deletes it from the entire site, period.
sounds like that's happened before.
Well, it has happened before, and it's why I created this template restore, because you can actually restore the header defaults, restore the footer defaults, across all of the default templates. So if you screw it up, it's not the worst thing in the world because you just come back over here, click reset the header to the defaults, and it'll fix the header all the way across without changing any of the rest of the template. Right?
Okay,
In generic thesis, that is in every skin I know of but this one, if you want to restore something to its default, you have to restore everything. So you're restoring the entire site to its defaults. Whereas in agility, I give you the ability to reset your header and footer to their defaults, and the individual default templates to their defaults. And you can do that separately. So you could make a big change to the header all the way across the board. And when you reset one of these things to its defaults, it doesn't change that. The header and the footer are reset separately from the rest of the template.
Okay.
Now I haven't had a chance to really introduce this to people yet. So, but
Consider myself among the privileged.
yeah, you're one of the new ones. But this is one of the big features of Agility 3.2 is the ability to go back in and restore parts of a template or restore things, some things back to the original because you messed it up and you don't want to lose it without having to
You know,
restore
it's always
everything.
nice, and it's it's always nice, and probably not realistic. But when you make those big changes, are you gonna do a whole new series on agility,
Starting
or
next week.
or not?
Yeah,
Okay.
nope. Starting next week, we're having a whole new series on agility. There'll be three seminars. There's the introduction to agility. There's styling with agility, and there's customizing the templates in agility.
Oh, good, good.
So
So that'll be outstanding.
yeah.
Hey, I also I don't know if you have time for this or not. Is there anybody else that you need to address? If there is, I can just go into another session another time.
Well, we haven't finished with this part yet.
Okay.
Um, so why don't we finish this first? I don't know if John has another question besides the one he signed up for. Um, I know that he asked me to solve a problem last week that I have not had a chance to solve yet. Um, but this but now that we've made the change to this template, we can come back over to appearance and widgets. And I don't know, do I have oh yes, I do have the visual editor widget. So you want to use the Tiny MCE, the Black Studio Tiny MCE plugin for this because it just makes it so much easier. It's this one right here, Black Studio Tiny MCE widget.
Okay.
And then you can come back over here to appearance and widgets. That creates this visual editor widget. And so I'm going to drag it. Oh, I guess I'm just going to drop it right there for the moment. Drag it over here and drop one in team area column 1. And we don't want a title over the beginning of it, so we just add our staff member. Um,
The dog.
okay, I think Willie's too small to be a staff. Oh, no, he's fine. Willie's just the right size for staff member. So we're going to insert it. Well, we could insert him as a thumbnail, but because we're 3 wide, I'm going to insert him as a medium sized. So insert that. And then, whoops.
All your employees that good looking?
Most of them are better looking. He's a good little dog, but he makes a lot of noise. Let's see.
I've got one of those.
I just got to I put that image in before I gave myself space to type. Um, oh, when I put it in as a line left, uh, oh well. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go back over here and fix that. I can edit it, I think, and then just align it center. Um, update. And then go below it. And then you're just going to, I don't know, put the person's name. So, I don't know.
What's the person's name?
Willie the Wonder Chihuahua.
Now, can you put a circle around him instead of a square?
Uh,
Is that
no, I can. So we'll bold him.
Okay.
Well, in fact, we'll make him an H3. And I'm also going to center him. Center that. And then, let's just warm up some text. Okay, I'm just going to borrow a bit of it. Okay, save that. And I think we will, I'm just going to copy that 3 times. I mean, you get the point, right?
Yeah.
So save that one. And then we'll grab another visual editor. Save that one. Grab our third visual editor. Now this is all going to work better for you again. Whoops. This will all work better for you if the images are all the same size, right? So, and circles, it's better to make them square in order for you to get a circle out of them.
You mean when I edit the image to
Yeah,
resize them?
yeah. When you edit the image to resize it, turn it into a square, and then now we just got to go to a page and assign that template.
This is all being recorded.
It is, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, let's see.
What am I doing? If I watch this step by step and pause it and do it, I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I get about 10% of it.
Well, let's just edit this no sidebars template page. And let's just choose the About Us template here. And then when we view the page, now you've got all the text that's above it. And then you've got your 3 sets of content here. Now, in order to make these things circles, we would take team area IMG. So let's call it # team area IMG. And then border radius tab 100%. And now you got, well, and actually he's oblong, right? He's not perfectly round because the image is not perfectly square. Were the image perfectly square, it would be a perfectly round circle. And so we just come over to custom CSS. And drop that into custom CSS. So team area image border radius 100%. Um, Now we're waiting for that to finish reloading. And then if you want to style this stuff differently, I will show you. As soon as this finishes loading. Oh, pardon me, that's the wrong thing. That's already done. Okay, great. So reload this. Whoops, come on, reload it. Oh, okay, let's save it. Saved. Reload it. Okay. Okay. Now that I have this, do I have, yeah, disable cache. Okay, so I'm not caching the CSS file any longer. There we go. That's what I needed to do. And so then if you wanted to style this differently, well, or if you wanted the images smaller relative to everything, right, we could come back into the into appearance and widgets and say, okay, I picked the image I picked was too big. So now I'm going to edit this image and I'm going to choose a thumbnail image instead. And now that's nice and square, so the circle will be nice and square.
Can you resize the image? Just like, is there like a custom image tab if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do that? If you decided, okay.
Yes, you can resize the image.
Does it slow
You can,
WordPress down or anything, or no?
no, not really. In fact, you can see there are some, you know, scaling images here.
Yeah.
Now you can't do the full kind of customization from this location, but all I'm doing really is just choosing a different image size, right? But from inside the media library, you can actually crop and rotate and flip and rescale and all that kind of stuff directly inside of that. Um, I used to not be a fan of that, but um, I'm more of a fan today.
Sounds like a time saver. But I'm used to doing everything in Photoshop.
Yeah, I still do everything in Photoshop, but if I'm helping somebody on their site, I will. So there you go. Now you got a smaller image.
Okay.
Now, if you want to style this block of text differently, you can come over here and select one of these two styles, supplemental or supplemental 2. If you choose supplemental, you can come over to the skin design and then over to widget styles and choose the supplemental widget style and and change stuff around, right?
Okay.
So you could increase the font size. You can change the font family. You can change colors. You can change font style options. Let's see, this is 1/3 width. If you set the typical column width on this, what it will do for you is automatically size the text for mobile devices for you too. So if you don't set it, it doesn't really know how to automatically set it. But since you're using this in a 1/3 column, you can say that here, um, and then it will automatically resize everything appropriately for mobile view. Um, so I guess this is already that size. But um, in any case, that's the kind of thing you can do. Once you put widgets in here, you can use styles in Agility to style those widgets, even if they're not in a typical spot.